Imagine losing everything, not because of what you did, but because of what others assumed. Imagine being cast out, judged by those you trusted, and abandoned when you needed help the most. Would you fight back? Or would you accept your fate? This is the story of Thomas, the man wrongly accused. In the quiet town of Ravenshire, Thomas was known not just as a blacksmith, but as a man of integrity. His forge stood near the village square, where the clang of hammer on metal echoed through the cobbled streets. His craftsmanship was unmatched, his swords sought after by knights, and his tools relied upon by farmers. Thomas was a man of simple joys. He shared meals with his apprentice Matthew, a boy he had taken in after the child's parents passed away. He helped old Edith, his elderly neighbor, repair her cottage roof before the winter set in. Despite his kindness, there were those who looked down on him. He was not a native of Ravenshire, an orphan taken in by a traveling blacksmith, and though he had spent years earning respect, some still whispered behind his back. Then came the accusation that changed everything. One morning, Lord Percival, the town's wealthiest merchant, stormed into the market square. His face was red with rage. A thief has stolen from me." The crowd gathered, whispering, "My golden bracelet, taken from my home, and I saw someone lurking in the shadows last night. None other than Thomas." Gasps filled the air. "Thomas? But he's always been honest. Still, a man without roots can never be fully trusted. And have you noticed? He never speaks much of his past." Thomas stepped forward, his face calm, but his fists clenched. "You accuse me without proof, my lord?" Percival sneered. "I need no proof. I saw you with my own eyes." And that was enough. The town's elders gathered, their faces grave. Thomas pleaded his innocence, but the doubt had already poisoned their hearts. Even his apprentice Matthew hesitated to defend him. The boy's eyes flickered with uncertainty. "Elder Rowan, we cannot have thieves among us." "Thomas, by our law, you are banished." "You would throw me away so easily? After all I have given to this town?" Silence. Not a single soul spoke for him. That night, under the weight of unjust judgment, Thomas walked away from the only home he had ever known. The wilderness was merciless. Thomas wandered, his stomach gnawed by hunger, his throat dry. The cold bit into his skin. For days he staggered through the forest, his body growing weaker. His mind replayed the moment of betrayal, the faces of the villagers who had once smiled at him. One evening, a storm rolled in. Thunder cracked across the sky, and rain pounded the earth. As he searched for shelter, he saw a flickering light in the distance. A ruined cabin, half collapsed but standing. Inside, a small fire burned, and beside it sat an old traveler, wrapped in tattered robes. His piercing eyes studied Thomas as he entered. The warmth was almost too much. Thomas fell to his knees, exhaustion overtaking him. "A man does not stumble into the storm unless he has lost his way," said the traveler. Thomas looked up, his voice hoarse. "I was cast out, judged without proof," Thomas said. The traveler stirred the fire. "And do you believe you're the first?" said the traveler. Thomas frowned. The traveler continued. "Judgment is like an arrow shot in the dark, blind, reckless, and often hitting the wrong target," said the traveler. Thomas clenched his fists. "What can I do? No one believes me," Thomas said. The old man smiled faintly. "The truth does not need belief, it only needs time," the traveler replied. Thomas stayed with the traveler, who became his guide. He learned how to survive, to track, to build, to carve. But more than that, he learned to let go of his anger. One day, as he forged a blade over a simple campfire, he realized his skill had not left him. And so, he traveled to new villages, offering his services not for gold, but for shelter and food. People hesitated at first, but his work was flawless. His swords never broke, his tools never failed. Word of the wandering blacksmith spread. Years passed, and his name reached the kingdom of Eldermere, where a great ruler sought the best blacksmith in the land. When the summons came, Thomas knew he had rebuilt his life. One day, a desperate figure arrived at the palace gates. Lord Percival. His wealth had crumbled, his fortune was gone, and now he sought mercy. The king's advisors debated his fate. But then, the ruler turned to his royal blacksmith. "Thomas, what say you? Shall we cast him away, as Ravenshire cast you away?" the king asked. The room fell silent. Percival trembled. He knew Thomas had the power to destroy him now, but Thomas only smiled. "Judge him not by his past, but by what he does now," said Thomas. The king nodded. Percival was spared. When Ravenshire heard of Thomas's rise, their shame was unbearable. They sent envoys, they wrote letters. Even Elder Rowan himself traveled to Eldermere, bowing before Thomas, begging for forgiveness. Thomas listened, and then he simply said, "Judgment failed me once, but I will not let it fail you now." He did not return to Ravenshire, but he did not hold hatred in his heart, because he had learned the greatest truth of all. Justice is not found in revenge, but in the wisdom to forgive. How often do we judge too quickly? Let this story remind you, truth always finds its way. If you believe in fairness, comment "Justice Prevails" like this video, and share it with someone who needs this message.